What up, yo? It's your boy AsisGalvin coming at you guys with the 17th episode of my story, my life story here. If you watched the last video, you know as of this point, we're at a point where I am just officially became homeless. No place to go, no place to stay. It's just me and my bro Zis, literally just out there. So let's get into some things that happened during this period. First thing is, some people aren't really never been homeless, so they don't know like certain things that come with that, like not being able to shower when you want, not being able to wash your clothes when you want, things like that. You know, stuff that would really get on your nerves, you know, that you really don't really realize that you take for granted, most of you probably. Anyway, let's get into that. We found this place to live. It was this little blue garage down the street from where I used to live. We didn't break into there, but we had to get the garage open. We got the garage open. We got in there. We took a look around. There was like these like vans in there, like these church vans. And the garage was owned by a church, and these vans in there were pretty big. All right, so we got in there. We seen the vans, and we're like, maybe we can get in here. We could sleep in here because we were looking for somewhere to sleep. This is all on the first night. We end up getting it open. We get in there, and that's where our home is. There's a little plug for our phones outside the thing, but we're pretty much, to give you guys a breakdown, we're in a broken down garage that leaks. It's kind of mildewy in certain areas. It's really bad. It's not a good place you want to live, but it was where we had to go because we didn't have nowhere. So when we were out Monday through Friday running around doing whatever we had to do, trying to get money up to get this car out, because the car cost about $1,000 to get out. It was $1,000 in damage. When we went out, we would just try to eat food, survive. There was even instances where we had to like break into cribs just to fucking get food and shit like that. It was real talk. We would break it into houses just to get food and shit like that. It wasn't as serious as it may seem, I'm saying, because we were just really ambitious as far as making sure we were all right. So we would do whatever we had to do to make sure that would get done. Long story short, we're out there. We're into this about 5 days now, right? And it starts becoming a routine. What we do is we wait to the very end of the day, maybe around 1 or 2 in the morning, and we sneak into that garage. We'd have to lift the door up mad quietly, sneak under, go inside, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and get out without nobody seeing us. If anybody ever seen us go in or out, it risked the fact that we would have nowhere to stay. So we didn't want to do that. So what we would try to do was just make sure that we were always on point going in and out, so that nobody's seen us. And that was like kind of what we really wanted to maintain while we were in there. So we get to Saturday and Sunday of the first week, and we didn't have to, the cool thing is, during the weekends, we could stay over our friend's house. And I also want to let you guys know, because I forgot something last video. When my car initially broke down, I did call a couple people. I called my grandma. She shitted on me. I called my father. He shitted on me. My mother tried to help me, but there's really nothing she could do. And I think that was really only 3 people I called. And the funny thing is, remember I told you when I seen my father, he wanted the keys. This was after I already told him what happened. So it isn't like he didn't know I have a car, but whatever. So anyway, the first weekend comes, we get out of there, we go back, and we go back in. Janelle's helping us out too. She, anytime we need to come over or just shower or something like that, she got us. Like it was really nothing. She would just make sure that we were good. So she'd help us out. Like oh, you guys want food? Come over. She'd feed us. It was mad good. We were straight. We were living all right. We were homeless, but we were extremely free-spirited. It was a nice experience to experience that with him, because we were just chilling, yo. It wasn't easy. It was hard as hell. I remember one time, like, we would have to scrounge up money all day just to get a damn, like a Hostess cupcake, which I would eventually choke on, because like he'd say something mad funny in the middle of me eating it, and I started choking and fell on the floor and was like gasping for air. While I'm dying, he's sitting there cracking up. Those were kind of times we had. We had a lot of fun during that, so I don't look at that as necessarily a situation that's that bad. It was just hard as shit, but at the same time, we made the best out of it, because that's what we do. One day, about 2 weeks in, we're in there, we're asleep, and I think it was like a Thursday, and for some reason, we're sleeping, we're like knocked out, we hear the garage door open. We're like, eyes open right up. We don't move. No, matter of fact, we heard the garage door open, but we kind of like ignore it. That wasn't what woke us up. When we heard the door to the front seat of the van open, we were like me and him, we have like a connection. Like we're literally like counterparts almost. So we both knew what it was and what to do. We didn't have to say a word. So as soon as that happened, what I did was pull my charger in through the window as hard as I could, yanked it, it flew out, came through the window, I caught it, rolled off the seat, boom. Now I'm on the floor. This rolled off the seat before I even did. So we're both under the seats and I'm looking at him. I pull my sheet down under the covers. The guy gets into the front seat and turns the van on. He's in the front seat. We're just sitting on the ground. I'm like, yo, I didn't even whisper it. I was just like, that meant, like, he knew that it meant, like, as soon as we get a chance, we have to escape. We have to get the fuck out. We have to not get caught, because if this guy catches us, it's a wrap. That's all I kept thinking. Like, yo, I won't have nowhere to live. I won't have nowhere to go. So the guy walks. He's still in the front seat. He's whistling. Me and Zis are in the back seat. He walks. He opens the door. He gets a phone call. He was like, yeah. Oh, I left something? Where is it at? And, oh, okay, I'm going to be right there. Okay, I'm gonna get it. We didn't know what he was talking about. What we assumed was he works for the church. The church is right down the street. He at least have to walk to the church. The church is literally only a 2-minute, it's not even 30 seconds to get to the church for where he was at. So he gets out the car. Me and his pop our heads up. We're looking. We watch his back go out. He goes to turn back around and look. We drop down. We go back up. He's gone. We don't even know where he went. Because he literally, where he was in an open area, so I don't know how the hell from the time we went down and came back up, he was gone. We look back up, he's gone. We're like, oh, let's go! Boom, boom, boom. We jump out the side door. Boom, we run out. Before we run out, we stop and we hide a couple of our things that we had in there. When we do that, we run out the front. But when we run out the front, we can't necessarily get out the front because we see him coming back. So we run back inside. We jumped on top of something and got out the side of the garage. And I mean, because there's holes in the garage and stuff. We got out the side of the garage, ran up a hill, because like I said, where he was coming, like if you look behind me, right? If you look at, let me see here. If you look at this lane, right? You see how I see straight down? We're on the side. He's coming up. So he's walking from that direction, like kind of, he's like right there, and he's walking up, and all he has to do is hit this corner right here, and he'll be able to see us down there. So that's essentially what was going on. So when he came to that corner, we were gone. What we did was we ran up a hill, got all the way on top of a hill, climbed up a gate, jumped off the gate to a roof, and was on top of the roof, just looking down. We were mad high up on top of this hill. We see him. He goes into the garage. We're just on top of the roof like, yo, what the hell? Then we see some person like that's like doing some kind of yard work. They look up where we're at because they hear, it was my fault. I stepped on something on the roof that cracked and almost gave way. It made this loud ass noise. King! We knew that they were going to look up there. We knew that they go to the church because we knew everybody in that area. We jumped off the roof. Well, Zis did first. He said, move, move. Jumped. He jumped off a 2-story roof on an incline that's about 45 degrees, land between some trees, rolled, and took off. When he did that, I was like, oh, snap, I got to get out of here, too. But I didn't want to jump off. I was kind of shook. I was like, yo, I don't want to jump off this shit. So I jumped off the roof to a fence, jumped off the fence down the hill, and got away. And we got away. Later on, we were scared to death. Every single night we slept in there after that. Mind you, this is at the 2-week mark. We've been in here for like 10 days. 10 days and 2 weekends we worked, but we were in there for 14 days altogether. We were homeless at this point. You know, we barely got away, and we kept wondering, yo, when the fuck does he come in? So we went to sleep the next day. It happened again, except this time we heard the garage door open, and then we just bolted. We bolted by the time it took him to get the garage door open, we disappeared to him because we were already prepared just in case he came again. Now, and then the weekend came. That was Thursday and Friday. We told our friend what happened. I started getting very, very stressed out because Sunday was the last day we was at our friend's house. So Monday came. Zis had to do something that Monday, so I didn't see him. So I was in there by myself, and I was just thinking the whole night. And I haven't seen Mia literally since when we got caught. I haven't seen her since, well, last time I seen her like at night was when we got caught. The last time I saw her though was at her house a couple weeks ago, right before a couple days before I got fired from them. So I'm sitting in that garage, and I'm just kind of like looking around. It's a cloudy day that day. It was one of those summer rainstorms kind of. I'm in there by myself. I'm chilling, and I start thinking like, yo, I really want to see her. I don't forget how I think I sent her an email or something, but I said something like, yo, we need to meet up soon. I want to see you. It have to be during the daytime though. She was cool with that. What I did was I was sitting in there, I was thinking. It started raining mad hard. Now I remember this very clearly because this is where I had like a kind of like a mindset change. It's raining mad heavy, like crazy heavy. The whole garage is leaking. It's getting mad cold. I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to sit in the garage too long. I need to get stuff done. I only had a garbage bag on me, which I had my clothes in. I had to empty my garbage bag and put my clothes on that nasty ass garage floor to put the bag over my head so my clothes wouldn't get wet, so I wouldn't get all mildewy. Janelle's house was mad far away. I couldn't get to it that day because of the rain. I didn't have no money for the bus. It was bad, man. It was horrible. And I would just remember sitting there getting rained on. I got really, really depressed. It's one of the most depressing moments of my life. I was just sitting here like, yo, I'm sitting in a garage with no home, with my car rotting away, and they're just adding up more money, and I'm just sitting there just getting rained on. Like, I got really, really, really sad, son. Like, even thinking about it now, it's mad sad. Like, I just got exhausted. Like, all my free spiritness and all the strength I had to get through my struggle, it was just draining. I was just sitting there like, yo, this is horrible, yo. So what happened after that was, that next day, I went and seen Mia. I put everything into that. I was like, yo, I made sure I got new socks. I was clean. I was fresh. I went to Janelle's house that same day that it was raining. I eventually went to Janelle's house. It took me 3 hours, but I got there, got cleaned up, got washed up, got some socks, got some clothes, spent the night at Janelle's house, left from Janelle's house and went to Yorktown where she lived. When I went to Yorktown, she told me, she's like, oh, I can't meet you there. I'll meet you in where I live, in Peekskill. I was like, all right, cool. So I got a ride over to Peekskill. I met her there. Now, I had a car. I don't know whose car I was using. I think it was one of my friend's cars. I was driving some car, and I picked her up. No, she was driving her car because she had her car at this point. So she drove down there. That's how I got there. She said she was going to meet me in Peekskill. I got a ride back. She met me in Peekskill. Let me tell y'all about this. She gets out the car. I give her a big-ass hug. We're chilling, and I'm just kind of like, yo, like, how you been? Like, what's been going on? She's been telling me, oh, like, the house is, like, her house is all, like, crazy, and stuff is all, like, wrong, and people, they don't give her no space, no freedom. They think they thought she was at something, right? When she see me, they thought she was somewhere else. What had happened was, I took her in there to see, how it was. I was trying to show her. All I wanted was some empathy, I guess, from her. I wanted her to give a damn. And when I brought her in there, she was really on some next level shit. Like, oh, I don't want to see this right now. I don't got time. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to, like, explain to you what I'm going through. Oh, but I got to be somewhere. I don't know what. She must have been on her period that day. I don't know what the fuck her problem was that day, but she was pissing me off. I was like, ooh, I got so mad because y'all got to understand, during this situation, every other female that I talked to, Tiara, which I didn't even mention to you guys, Tiara. Tiara was a girl I dated a long, long, long time ago that was one of my first girlfriends, but overall, like, we were children at that point. We were mad young. It wasn't even serious. I think it's even kiss. We were just, young boyfriend, girlfriend and shit like that. So what ended up happening is we ended up being best friends forever after that. Like, years and years and years. I've known Tiara since I was 13 years old. So I've known her way longer than everybody else. When I told Tiara about that, we were on the phone. I told Tiara about that. I was, like, telling her about, like, the struggle, what we were going through, and she was crying about it. She was crying about it. Like, she was legitimately upset about it. Like, it was pretty serious. Hold on, I got people coming my way. Don't like niggas come my way. Let me go over here. So, pretty much, I had, she was crying about the situation. She was like, oh my God, it's so terrible. I can't believe you're going through this. Like, what can I do? She was really on some, like, she was upset. There was, like, my sister's best friend, Carly. She was also extremely upset about the situation. Like, she wanted to help us out. She wanted to do whatever she could. My mom was. Like, everybody was empathetic. And I thought that was cool. I was like, yo, I'm glad you guys are, worried about me, but I'm all right. The only person I wanted to worry about me was Mia. Literally, at that time. That's all I wanted. I just wanted her to care. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in this situation for her. I just wanted her to really understand, yo, this nigga loves me because look what he's doing. But when I seen her and she did that, that was strike 2 for me. And what I mean by that is strike 1 was the fact that when her parents did me so greasy that she didn't really back me and she was just like, oh, well, And, I felt like she should have at least been a little bit more, like, on my side about things. It was almost like when they did everything they did, she just stayed in cahoots with them because it made her life easier. And I didn't knock that, but that was strike 1 for me because I wouldn't have been in that situation if it wasn't for her. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't there struggling for her. Strike 2 was the fact that she didn't give a shit that I was in that situation and blew the whole thing off like it was nothing. She didn't, if I asked her to this day what I was going through at that point, she couldn't tell me because she didn't give a shit. I don't know what the hell was going on in her life, but she didn't give a damn. that was strike 2. That really pissed me off. Like, that really made... Back then, I was a very, very spiteful person. If you did me greasy, I was going to do you back greasy 2 times fold. So, it was like that. Essentially, you know, it got to a point where we got to... Look at these characters. You see this? You see these shadows? But yeah, like, we eventually got to a point where me and Zis were in there about 26 days, right? We get to the 26th day, and my mom comes up with some way to get, like, a loan to get my car out. Like I said, my car costs $1,000 to get out. So we're at day 26. We spend a day, you know, I took a trip down. I had to, by the way, I skipped something. I had to take a trip to Queens to drop off my key. When I took a trip to Queens to drop off my key, let me tell y'all what Trish did. I seen Trish, right? I went down to Queens with this key. And I wanted to give the shop my key so they can, you know, they needed my key to pretty much when they fixed the car to get it done. Now, they started fixing my car. My car was working when I gave them the key. And I would give them the key, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, I'll try to pay you guys in 2 weeks. So they're like, we're going to hold it for 2 weeks. This is before I seen Mia. I go down there to see Trish, and when I see her, she rolls up with like 7 dudes. And I'm like, yo, I took the train and I walked all the way to this shop. I wanted to meet you over here. You didn't pick me up at the train station. You didn't pick me up at the subway. You let me walk all the way over here. And when I get here, you come with 7 niggas. And she was supposed to get me some kind of deal because she knew the guy that was there. But what happened was she went in there, started chalking it up to those guys, talked to the 7 guys she was talking to when she came out. I'm sitting there dolo like a soldier on the corner like, she's over there with mad dudes. So she comes over to me and she's like, oh, well, I couldn't get the guy I talked to that, you know, does all this stuff, he's not here. So, yeah, just give him your key and, yeah, you know, you'll be good. I'm like, what? So that's it? I'm like, that's it, really? For real? I'm like, after all, she kind of knew that I was homeless and all this shit because of the situation. She literally was like, yeah, all right, I gotta go. She hopped in the car with these 7 niggas and took off and left me in the middle of fucking Queens, my nigga. She left me in the middle of Queens. I never forgave her for that. To this day. To this day. So, and we'll get back to her way later on because she comes back in the picture. Mind you, while all this stuff is going on, the only people that are holding me down is my mother and my sister, Carly, Tiara, Zis, Janelle, and that was really it at that particular point. I wasn't really dealing with too many other people. Those are the only people that held me down in my crisis time. My mom ended up getting me the loan so I can get the car out, and I end up getting the car out. So 30 days goes by. We finally get the car. I take the train down to Queens. I have the money. We pay them off. I get my car. I drive it back home. Yeah, it drives nice. It's better. It's fixed. I'm so happy to have my car back. I see this. I give him a big hug. I'm like, yo, we did it, my nigga. It only took 30 days, but we did it. But at this point, I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, yo, it's starting to become winter, and I'm getting exhausted. Like, I'm just worn out. I'm thinking about going back to Virginia just to kind of recuperate, but I don't really want to. So I'm like, all right. Let me chill. Let me relax. We start chilling. Like, me and Zis start chilling. You know, we chill in the car. We're practically living in the car at this point, right? So let me get to the last part of this video. 10 days go by after me having my car fixed. 10 days, right? Hold on. All right, good. Let me just make sure that's right. 10 days go by me having my car fixed. 10th day, my friend Chris Lynch is like, yo, can you give me a ride home? It was thunderstorming. I was like, yeah, whatever. Gave him a ride home. Drove him all the way home. Me and Zis are cruising on the way back. On the way back, it's raining mad hard. I'm mad happy to have my car back. I'm like, yo, we did it, my nigga. We did it. I'm driving. I'm like, yo, you want to see something crazy? He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you want to see something really cool? He's like, what? I'm like, yo, watch this. I was like, watch how close I can get to this car without hitting it. Ooh, mind you, it's super thunderstorming. Like, you can barely see anything. And I'm just trying to portray my skills enjoying it. I'm actually nice behind the wheel, as I told y'all before, but I'm trying to portray my skills. I'm all like, woo, like, watch how close I get to this car. I get so damn close that my mirror had to be closed so my mirror didn't hit the cars I was driving next to, right? I'm driving. I feel my wheel jerk so hard to the right that my wrist almost broke. Because the way I was holding the wheel, I was kind of holding it like this. And, like, it jerked. It went like that. And my wrist was there. So my wrist jerked. I tried to counter, like, the jerking, but my full strength and power steering couldn't stop that wheel from cutting to the right, and I didn't understand why. As soon as it cut to the right, skirt, I'm like, oh, boof, boof. I'm talking about that's the kind of noise what happened made. I clipped another rim. Car went sideways. smashed into the curb. Airbag destroys my face, my nigga. Boom! Explodes in my face. All I smell is gunpowder. My head flies back. I look over. Zis gets smacked back by the freaking airbag, and niggas sitting there slumped. And we'll get back to what happened after that next video. Trolling y'all niggas. Ow! Mind you, that's 10 days after I got this car back and this happens. When I come back next video, I will get into what happened next. And yo, just think, I spent $1,000 to get the car fixed. 10 days later, I smashed the same side. Was it the same side? Let me think about that for a second. First time was driver's side, so that was the opposite side. So that was the passenger side I crashed. So next video, we'll get into what happened that night, what happened, yo, so when y'all, look, next video, stay tuned. I will be doing another one tomorrow, and I think that will be it until Monday. Yes, I'm not sure if I'm going to do some over the weekend, but if I do, they might be, but we have one more guaranteed tomorrow, so y'all stay tuned for that. It's your boy, AsisGalvin. Tune in, subscribe. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Ace. I'm out. One.